Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture in the GitHub Masterclass. Today we are going to be learning about merging code. So what does merging mean and why it's needed? We started learning about branches, right? Let's say that this is the main branch and let's say that this is another branch which is called as feature 1. And let's say you have a junior developer in your team who has made some changes in feature 1, and now the junior developer asks the senior developer that, hey, I've made some changes in the feature 1 branch, can you review my changes, and if the changes look good, can you merge those changes with the main. This means that the senior developer will take a look at the code changes which the junior developer has made, and if the changes look good, and if the changes are approved by the senior developer will merge them with the main branch, which means that now in the main code file, in the main project code, the changes implemented by the junior developer will appear. So it's a successful thing for you as a junior developer if your code gets merged, because it means that the senior developer liked the changes which you made. They liked the code which you have pushed, and that's why they decided to merge it with the main code. Usually when you join a new team, the code which you make on your branches won't be merged very easily. But as you get better and better and better, your codes will be merged at a much quicker rate. There are actually two ways of merging a code. The first way is through the terminal itself. So we can use this command git diff branch name to check the difference between the two branches. So now what we can do is that if you go to the terminal, so let me clear this right now, and if we type git diff feature 1, so we are already on feature 1, so it does not probably show any changes. Let's see which branch we are on. Yeah, we are already on feature 1. So let me actually do git diff with main. So when we do git diff main, here you can see that there are some changes which have been added, which means that added feature 1 is a new change which has been added, and a new line has been added. So these are the differences between the main branch and the feature 1 branch, and these differences have been mentioned over here. So these are the differences between the main and the feature which you can get through the terminal itself. And then the second command which you have to use to merge the feature 1 branch with the main branch is type git merge and branch name. So we have to type git merge and main. What this will do is that since we are already on feature 1 branch, it will merge the changes which have been added in the feature 1 branch, and the changes are this new line and this new text. They will merge it with the main. However, in this video we are not going to do the changes through the terminal. What we are actually going to do is that we are going to implement the changes using the GitHub interface itself. And the second way to merge the changes is through something which is called as PR, or pull request. So what pull request means is that actually you remember the junior developer and senior developer which I mentioned. When the junior developer wants his or her changes to be merged, the junior developer the junior developer will create a pull request, which is also called as a PR. The junior developer will create a pull request, which means that the junior developer will request the senior developer that, hey, if my changes look good, I request you to pull the changes from my branch to the main. So merging the code is equivalent to getting your PR approved. So if your pull request is approved, if your PR is approved, it means that if your PR is approved, it means that the changes which you had made in your branch named feature 1, that will get merged with the main branch. So merging is equivalent to your pull request getting approved. The definition of pull request is that, or the informal definition rather, is that it lets you tell others about the changes you have pushed to a branch in a repository on GitHub. So pull request is your way of telling others that, hey, these are the changes which I've pushed to the branch, and now the senior developers can review it, and if the changes look good, you can merge it with the main branch, right? So as I mentioned, the pull request is reviewed by senior developers, and then the senior developers will decide whether to merge your pull request or whether to not merge your pull request. Now let's see how to create a pull request using the GitHub interface. So first of all, when you are on this branch named feature 1, you'll see this branch is one commit ahead of main. You can click over here, and when you click over here, you will see that there is an option to create a pull request, and here you will see that the pull request is from feature, so there are changes in the feature which can be merged with the main. And here it says that these branches can be automatically merged. So let me click on create this pull request right now. And when you create a pull request, you can give a title that added feature 1, and then you can write a lot of details like so I'm writing here mention details, right? And then you have to write a detailed description that this these are the changes which I have made. These are the reasons for these changes, and due to these changes, let's say the code efficiency improves by 50% and the application speed improves by 80%. So when you create a pull request, you need to write a lot of details like this. There is a specific way and an etiquette of creating pull request that's called as the PR etiquette. So PR etiquette is that when you write pull request, or PR etiquette, which means what is the way to create the pull request. When you create pull request, you cannot write just one line or one sentence saying that these are the changes which I've made. That's it, because this is not a very well written pull request. Remember that the senior developer will spend their time on reviewing your code, right? So you are asking for their time. It is your responsibility to make sure that you give a lot of details about the title of the pull request, what's the reason for this pull request, what are the changes, what will be the implications of those changes. So you have to be respectful to the person who is going to review this pull request. I have seen some people creating pull requests with just one sentence in the title and just or one or two words in the title and one sentence in the description, like please review or something like that. That's not enough. You have to follow the pull request etiquette, and that means that write as many details in the description as possible. So you have to help the reviewer who is the senior developer, because your job or your goal is also to get your PR approved, right? The more PRs you get approved, it's good for you, because that means you're being successful more times as a junior developer. So please try to make respectful pull requests and mention as much details as you can. And then what you can do is that you can create a pull request over here. Now you can see that the pull request has been created, and the pull request says that here is added feature 1, and you can mention details. I have not added the details here because they can be replaced with anything which you have added in your branch. And then here you can see the comments. So when someone has to review your code, they can just go on this files changed, and they can see the things in green which you have added and the things in red which was the original code, and they can clearly see the differences and what you want to essentially merge. So then there is an option here, merge pull request, right? So if the senior developer decides that okay, this is a good code and it really is useful for the product, they can go ahead and click on merge pull request. And then the senior developer can add a comment saying that great code, it really improves, it would be a game changer for the client. And then you can click on merge pull request. So you can comment over here first, and then you can click on confirm merge. So now the changes in the feature 1 branch have been successfully merged with the main branch, and now this pull request has been closed. So earlier here there was a one symbol appearing, which means this was a pull request 1, but now it has been merged. So the changes which were made in the feature 1 branch, they have been merged with the main branch right now. So if you go to this code, you will see that I'm in the main branch right now, and if I go to index.html, you'll see that this new line and added feature 1, now these changes have been merged with the main branch. That's awesome, right? This was a live demonstration to show you how you can merge the changes in the branch which you have created with the main branch. And what is a pull request or PR? So you might have heard people discussing, hey, did your PR get approved, or hey, my PRs are never getting approved these days, or the senior developer takes a long time to look at the PRs. That's all related to pull request and trying to get your code merged. Okay, so this brings us to the end of today's lecture, where we looked about pull requests and we saw about how to merge the code from the branch to the main branch. And once you implement the pull request, then the code is now merged, and then you can go to the next part. The next part is essentially that after you implement one feature, right? Let's say you want to keep working on the local repository. But now if you think about it, if you go to the local repository, the if I go to git checkout main, here you see the changes are not in my local repository. The changes are there in my remote repository. So how to bring the changes from the remote to the local? That's what we are going to see in the next lecture, where we'll learn about commands such as git pull. So thanks a lot everyone, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lecture.